So today I really just want to talk about social media. So this project has been extremely hard for me. I did have great ideas. There were so many things that I wanted to do. Things that I thought would have been really incredible. But due to my disconnect with social media and my disconnect in general to putting myself out there online, especially in a very, very public place like YouTube, which was my plan, I ran into some issues. I was going to make videos, I was going to upload them, and I was going to see how it affected me at the end of it all. But I already knew how it would have affected me. I've known that it would have had a very negative impact on me as a person and my mental health. I've been off social media for several weeks lately. Back and forth off it for about 2 weeks. I tried to come back to it for about a day, and in that day I just knew that it wasn't working, it wasn't good for me. So I got back off. And in that time I realized a lot of things about social media and today's society in general, and how we communicate, and how we convey ourselves, and how we portray ourselves, and how these social media accounts really sometimes determine our own personal self-worth. I've always had issues with myself. I've always had mental health issues. I struggle with a lot. And in some ways, social media has helped that. It's nice to be able to connect with people. It's nice to be able to talk to people in similar circumstances who may not be close to you. It helped me connect with friends before I even made it to college. It helps me communicate with my family, who I'm 4 hours away from. Social media is great in those respects, and I do appreciate it, but I'm here to talk about the downfalls, the side of social media that I feel like no one really talks about, or the people who are talking about it are not this generation. There are parents, there are grandparents saying that kids are addicted to their phones, and their phones are why this and that is happening, and that a punishment is to take away a kid's phone. And I've seen the way that my brothers react to that, and it's ridiculous the way that I used to react if my phone was taken away, because that takes away this connection that we have to the world. It takes away a piece of us. So, and most people convey themselves on social media as the best versions of themselves. They post pictures that they want people to see. They show the sides of them that they want people to see. They'll post pictures from places that they want people to know that they went to. And I'm not calling anyone out, because I've done the same thing myself plenty of times. There's really interesting reasoning to why we do it, and in all honesty, I really can't delve into why. Because it's just this urge to show people who you are and what you've done. But a lot of my issues with social media, and these are my personal issues, they could be things that people relate to, they could be things that people don't relate to. A lot of my issues with social media have been really related to my depression and really related to my self-esteem. I used to post a lot of my artwork and a lot of my photography on my Instagram. And I noticed that if I posted a picture of myself, that would get 2 times as many, 3 times as many likes. And even though I was much more enthusiastic, much more invested in my artwork and my photography, that showed me that that wasn't what people wanted to see. And so I stopped. I stopped posting pictures. I stopped posting my photography. I stopped posting my artwork. I almost never post about it anymore. And I realized that stunted my work a lot. I really stopped going out and taking pictures, and I really stopped creating art because there was no one to see it, because at that point, that's what I wanted. I wanted people to see it. I wanted people to talk about it. I wanted people to tell me how good it was. I wanted it to be noticed for what it was, and I wanted my talent to be noticed. But that wasn't happening. And fairly recently, this semester, I've had a lot of issues stemming from the fact that, like, all these people will like my pictures, but aside from 1 or 2 people who live on this campus, who I spend most of my time with because we have classes together, aside from those few people, no one talks to me, no one interacts with me. And I've struggled to understand why people would want to see my pictures, why people would like my pictures, but not bother to ask me if I'm okay after I'm gone for 2 or 3 weeks without a word. And it's interesting the things that can do to your mental health. Initially, stuff like that used to really make me spiral. It would really throw me into no one cares about you kind of thing. And I know now that that's not true. There are people who care, of course. There's never been nobody, but they just don't talk to me every day, and that's okay. You know, even my mom doesn't talk to me very often, and that's just how it is. I know that she cares. It's just, you know, and things like that would make me spiral. So lately, it's really been a lot of trying to figure out why social media matters enough to throw me into a depression like that. And I realized that, in all honesty, social media doesn't matter that much. I think it's an incredible way to connect with people. I think as an artist, it's a platform to get yourself out there. I don't think it's necessarily an evil thing altogether. But I think the addictions to it, the way it can make you feel, especially the influences on people's mental health, Snapchat and streaks. In all honesty, like, looking at it's so ridiculous. But for some reason it holds some value to people. And there are even people who I've talked to who have been like, oh, streaks are, they're stupid, they're pointless. But I'm not going to stop doing them. And that doesn't really make sense to me. I guess there are a lot of things that don't make sense to me concerning social media. I think these platforms are a great way to talk to people. They're a great way to connect. I guess it all boils down to, why are we doing this? Why does it matter so much? Why does one bad comment on a poem or a piece of art make you rethink and delete a post? Why is it if you don't get 10 likes in the first 10 minutes of an Instagram post being up, that you delete it and repost it an hour later? Why do we let likes define our self-worth? Why do we allow it to consume us? I think it's a good thing to step away, to kind of get rid of those things and just live. I think so many of us live our lives online that we're missing out on the things that are going on right around us. Or it's like, if you didn't post it, it didn't happen. But, that's ridiculous. And it's far from true. In the end, my thoughts on it are, try and take a break for a few days. A week, 2 weeks, a month, however long you feel like you want to. And see how it influences you. Really think about what you could be doing on all the time that you're not on your phone, because you're not scrolling through social media. Think about all the time that you waste just laying in bed looking at other people's tweets or Instagram posts, and really try and do those things that you could be doing instead. Listen to music, spend time with your friends, play a board game, play 2 board games, get your homework done for class early, find a different way to procrastinate from doing your classwork. But just take a step back from social media, just for a minute. Get a breath of fresh air. See what you're missing or what you're not missing. because your experience is never going to be the same as mine, and mine is never going to be the same as yours. I guess to wrap it up, really, just try and even spend a few hours off social media, because in the end, it might be one of the best things you've done. I know for me, it was one of the best things I could have done for myself at the time that I did it.